Hello survivors, we are back in Soulstone Survivors and we are going to be playing a thematic build with you on max curse, max difficulty. Firstly, we are running skill mastery thrust with unconventional start and reroll mastery. These skills are part of the cursed captain's second weapon, so you do need the cursed captain's second weapon unlocked in order to get them. And the theme today is going to be, water, or at least sharks. So we're going to be running Shark Tooth with Shiver of Sharks, the main skill being Shiver of Sharks. As you can see, the damage is multiplied based on our critical strike chance, so we're going to work on that. We are then going to be running ourselves a Jaw Storm, Precision Wave, as well as Arcane Power and Might. That's 6 skills. We are running ourselves Synergetic, Critical Mastery, Multicast Mastery, and Sure-Footed. Again, we're going to be pushing ourselves in Overlord cycles. We'll play for about 20 to 25 minutes, see how far we can go, and we'll see where we go from there. We are going to just re-roll until we get Jaw Storm, and we're just going to keep going like that. So we didn't get it, we have to restart. This is the kind of the process. I thought, normally at times I actually kind of skip this part. I thought it would be quite cool to show you guys that this is how we do it. 4 rerolls left, it's fine, it's not the end of the world. We just get the skill we're looking for, and then we are running ourselves Gillikin Servants, which are for slowing the weapon itself. There's nothing really too fancy about it, but yeah, pretty cool. Just wanted to get the Shiver of Sharks as quickly as possible and to go from there, although maybe that wasn't the best of ideas actually, but we'll see what happens. We will get our ascension soon, and when we do get it, then we will use that to defeat everything. Oh, it provides us with cursed as well, which is good. Trying to remember. Okay, there's the ascension powering up now. Alright, we do get a second skill over here, so increase the amount of favor you gain. We don't need Leviathan, so we banish it. We'll grab that. And now there's Precision Wave. Not really what we're looking for, because we need a skill to kind of do damage right now. But anyway, it is what it is. We'll grab this multicast. We are going to get rid of them eventually, but for now it's fine. And we are going to grab, as much as I want this Relentless, we're going to go with the damage modifier, because we want this to be as hard damage as humanly possible. So unconventional start does seem like it might not be the best option over here, which is okay, it's fine. It's still a viable option. There's Arcane Power, and we'll grab the cast frequency as well. Gotta go in with a plan. This is like the slowest start I've ever had in my life. Alright, we do get our ascension, so that's going to help us. And then, do we want to increase the duration? If we increase the duration, we no longer need cooldown reduction, so we actually don't, so that's fine, we can do that. And now we are looking for some other skills. There's Might. Expansion is okay, we don't necessarily need it. And what's really nice here is these are all area skills, so we get the damage increase for area. It increases the damage of Shiver of Sharks as well as the Arcane Power and Might's damage. Unfortunately, that's not a damaging an area of effect skill, so we can't use that. But for now, we got to take something. We'll just grab Glacier. Increase critical strike chance of your Oceanic Strike, we're not too worried about that. Area of effect there, and now we're just grabbing skills to kind of fill up the space until we get the skills that we're looking for. Again, it's going to be Jaw Storm as well as the other, I think it's like the Trident Strike, the Shark Strike, or whatever the skill was actually called. Try not to get anything with regards to those. There's Jaw Storm, which is one of the skills. We can go and remove a Glacial Trident, grab a slow. If we increase the duration, okay, so we don't need to worry about cooldown reduction there either. Fantastic. And increase the critical strike chance. So we got all of our buffs relatively quickly, which is really good. Just missing one skill, but we should be able to get that relatively quickly as well. Now, I did try to do this on the Cursed Captain at first, but it just felt really, I don't know, not clunky, but it was difficult. And at least with this, with the Myrmidon, we actually get a really, really strong skill. So there we go. We set up for life now. Go for cast frequency. We get the damage increase for the buffs, which is beautiful. And we can go for area of effect for our Shiver of Sharks. So our focus now is going to be everything to do with Shiver of Sharks. We've got multicasting them. We've got everything else. We don't even need that much slow, so we can actually banish that. And we want to get the Relentless for the cooldown reduction, because it actually has quite a high cast frequency, so we want to get that as low as possible as well. Now this is full curse, max curse, max difficulty, so we do have to run around and make sure that we get rid of those towers, because those are going to, the pillars of protection, those are going to make it so that the bosses and other enemies take less damage, and we don't want that, so we're going to go and get rid of them. The other purple and red towers don't really mean that much. They literally just, they're more of an AoE effect on us more than anything else, so we're not too worried about those. I mean, as it is, we've got all the bosses to AoEs to worry about as well, so kind of fits. But yeah, definitely got some really good damage going on over here. The critical strike chance is all going to come from precision waves, so we do need to remember that as well. Otherwise, we are good. Don't need the expansive anymore. Form to haste, we can use a bit of movement speed. Increase the amount of fervor gained is fine. Potencies on everything. A nice, beautiful magnetic for some increased area of effect. We're going to remove this. I'm not worried about that. We can grab Merciless. Grab cast frequency over here. That's fine. We need it under 10 seconds. We are going to get... see, we got Thrust and we've got Arse. Do we have Arse? No, we don't. I think we might... oh, no, that's fine. Okay, we'll grab the the critical strike chance there. And the critical strike chance. And then over here, we've got enough cooldown, so we just need the damage over there. Increased damage. We don't need cast frequency, so we can banish that. And that's going to help us get different upgrades as well. So we're in a very good spot. I think the Myrmidon is probably a very, very strong character in terms of their ascension, along with now the Pyromancer being very, very strong. But back in the day, I think with one of the fastest characters to do Overlord cycles, the Myrmidon was one of them. But I thought it'd be fun to do the, a thematic build going into this and see these sharks are something I've actually really, really wanted to play with. And I don't think I ever did a build on them. And here we are. So that's pretty cool. Increased critical damage bonus gained while wielding the Fury of the Seas. So it goes from 20% to 26%. That's actually really good. We've got the cast frequency for this already, so we can banish that. We just need for Might. We can banish multicast. We are going to take the armor. We are going to take another magnetic. We can grab the area of effect over there. More magnetic. Just in the beginning, magnetic is very, very important. We can grab hypothermia as well, because Disarray can be very, very strong. And we only need, I think we could grab 2 of those. I think 2 is better than 1. Maybe even just grab 3, just to call it a day. And then we'll go from there. But definitely got a lot of damage coming in right now. I don't know what's doing a lot of damage. I'm sure it's actually coming from our ascension more than anything else. But I'm hoping that's not the case. The point here is to get our Shiver of Sharks to be dealing the most amount of damage, which they currently don't look like they are. Alright, we want a damage increase here as well as this. Cast frequency there is also really good. And a potency upgrade over there. Fantastic. Disarray to bleed we don't need, so I'm actually going to get rid of that. I don't want bleed in the build. There's no need for it. Area of effect is very, very good over here. Not this area of effect though. We only need the magical area of effect. Grabbing ourselves momentum, so for each skill of thrust, improve your skills without the thrust. Now the thing is, we've got skills that will be affected by this will be Arcane, Power, Might, and Jawstorm. This is very, very strong because it is going to actually increase the amount of damage bonus we get. So I'll show you when we level up again and we get that. So you can see we're at 168 for Mart. So 168 for Mart, and it goes up to 192. So we got quite a lot of damage or potency increase there to some of the buffs, which is actually pretty cool. So anything that isn't a thrust buff is going to get, or thrust skill, got quite a big damage increase over there thanks to that epic passive. That's why we do go for the synergetic as well. So that increased our multicast chance, it increased the damage of our Jaw Storm, and it gave us Mart. Okay, potency increase, we get the multicast chance and a cooldown reduction. Damage over there as well. Perfect. Things are going really good for us over here. Only one set of bosses left. Now, I mentioned this earlier, we did do this on the Cursed Captain, and the time that we got for the Cursed Captain on max difficulty, well, we didn't actually use this exact build. We tried something similar, tried a whole bunch of different ones, and I was like, listen, this isn't working the way that I wanted it to. The fastest time I could get was 7:45 or around that time with the Cursed Captain, and it looks like the Myrmidon is a lot faster. So sometimes you got to just look at which characters you're using and whether or not, you know, it might be better to just use a different character. Both of them are thematic to, or are, you know, part of the theme. Myrmidon is like an underwater king in a sense, or I don't actually know if it's a female or male character. I've never really taken note of it. But regardless, king or queen of the underwater or the seas. And then we've got the Cursed Captain, who is a pirate who is on the seas. And we're using skills from both of those characters, so it kind of just fits. So, you know, at least to me, it's very thematic using either of them. And there we go, 6 minutes 13 time, so definitely a lot faster. Like I mentioned, we are going to be doing a 20 to 25 minute run, seeing how far we can push the max curse, max difficulty with this build. And obviously, the higher we go, the stronger we're going to get, because we're going to get all these upgrades that are going to allow us to get that stronger. Get rid of the hypothermia now, we no longer need it. Area of effect, I don't think we need anymore, so I'm not going to, we can't banish it unfortunately, but we can try and get less of it. Alright, and now what we need to try and focus on is getting more damage over here. Some movement speed as well is going to be take us a very far way. Because as you can see, yeah, we need movement speed. Okay, damage increase over there. We're going to grab the movement speeds, and we need cast frequency. We need this to go down to as low as possible, even like a 2 second, 3 second. The lower it is, the better it's going to be for us, because we'll be able to deal a lot more damage. So we need to try and get that cast frequency as low as possible. Beautiful damage coming in from the skills though. Okay, there's more damage, more damage. We can go for the Disarray, and we'll re-roll that actually. There's a damage increase to everything. I don't know why I don't just re-roll, I'm being silly. So block chance, nope, we want the movement speed. Re-roll this a couple of times and we get potency over there. What hit me? Okay, it looks like we do need to work on a more life as well as some block chance. Obviously, there's life, we'll take that one. We don't need the area of effect, so we'll just grab a potency. And then just try and stay alive now, because we've already lost one life. Okay, potencies are fine. We don't need the duration, so we can re-roll those. Multicast chance, very strong as well. I think the hardest part about this entirety, or this build, is going to be seeing the ground effects. So getting ourselves block and armor might be very, very clutch in this build. So we will do that. Grab ourselves more HP. Obviously we don't need area or any of that. I guess we'll grab that. and the cast frequency down to a 5.2 second cooldown over there. And then our ascension is up quite often as well, which is nice. Okay, multicast chance, grab some block power over there. %1 block is the difference between living or dying. You have that 1% chance of blocking a lethal attack, essentially. I think the only thing about the skill is its cooldown is way too high. So getting that to be shorter is going to be good. Okay, let's just take a look here. Our critical strike chance is high enough, so I'm not worried about that. We'll grab the cast frequency, grab the armor. Armor is good. Area of effect isn't needed anymore. Nope, we're going damage, of course. I was about to say multicast on that is okay, but it's not what we need. It's not our damaging skill. That does give us form, which is more critical strike chance, so that's good as well, but not that we capped on that either. I think we're in a pretty good spot, besides for, you know, taking lethal damage. I do think we could maybe get to Overlord 5 with this in 25 minutes. We'll see. Just drop down suggestions of some thematic builds you would like to see or not see. Even if it's just a general idea, like you can say something to do with fire with a specific character even, that otherwise doesn't usually have it, or just some silly ideas, you know? If there's anything you've ever wanted to see and you could never get it right yourself, you can always just shout out and let me know. Area of effects no longer needed. We get the relentlesses, re-roll this, and we grab the potency. We're on 278 additional critical strike chance without the form stacks, so we're on a decent amount of crits. That's why we go for the precision wave, because it's just an easy way to stack crit. We've then also got critical mastery, which means that every time we pick up crit, it also increases our critical damage, so they kind of work one in the same, which is pretty cool. So we don't have to focus on any of those things, but grabbing critical damage is just a good idea anyway for damage wise. Okay, we just lost our ascension, so that's actually not a good thing. We are going to grab extra life, so we are sitting on 285 life, which is a lot better than what we were at before. But as you can see, no, actually it is a lot better. I just can't see the boss anymore. Alright, fantastic. We can actually, before we go through here, just take a look at the skill, you know, the skill damage. And luckily we've got Shivers of Shark at the top over there. So that's really good for us, because that's what we wanted. I think if I had to redo this and start again and, you know, let you guys know what you should or shouldn't do in the very beginning, don't use unconventional start. Rather just start off with the main skills that this character uses, just because those skills are lower cooldown. It's generally how they're done, and that helps you to build up your character in the very start of the round. So, you know, for some you know, thinking about the build and what to do with it, try and keep that in mind. We don't need the cast frequency. I mean the cast frequency there. Can grab more general cast frequency and then the damage increase over there as well. And then when it multicasts, it's really fun to see. I must remember as well, we do have 3 dashes, so there's absolutely no reason for us to take a massive amount of damage. I was thinking of adding bleed to the build and then really being thematic, because you know when a shark bites you, you're going to bleed, definitely. It's not negotiable, because you're going to lose a limb. But yeah, so I had that idea. Gonna grab the crit bonus from here, so it's gonna go to 32%. Form to haste is gonna give us movement speed, damage increase, another shift. We'll take that. We'll take the multicast over here just because it's giving us exposed, form, and cursed. Grab that, grab the damage, some more HP as well. And then just remember, the more HP you have, the more damage you can take, but that will all become kind of null and void at level 6. Once you get to the Overlord Cycle 6, you actually need a lot more defenses if you're looking to either that, or you're going to have to kind of, it's either kill or be killed. So if you don't deal enough damage quick enough, or whatever the case may be, you're going to take a lot of damage very quickly. So it's either do a lot of damage or take a lot of damage. So kind of have to get those defenses if you can't deal a lot of damage, which we currently aren't dealing a lot of. Even more critical damage, 38% critical damage, and remember that is a multiplier, not additive, it's multiplicative. So that's going to be giving us a whack ton of critical damage. We can actually just take a look. 489, that's not including the critical mastery damage increase. Let's see what it goes down to when we lose our ascension. So it goes down to 354. So we're actually getting like over 100 or so. It should be 120 critical damage, which is pretty decent, I would say. We can go and increase that number even further. Increase more life. We don't need the area. I guess we'll go for the damage and some more cast frequency. And because we are running multicast mastery, once we get to about 1,000 multicast or even 500-600, we're in a very, very good spot with multicasting as well. And that's going to obviously increase our overall damage as well, because there'll be more attacks going off, there'll be more stacks of debuffs, and so on and so forth. I don't know what this is going to look like on YouTube, unfortunately. Maybe I must lower the visibility down just a tad. Like so. Alright, we get the momentum boost as well as some damage over here. We'll take both of them with the Disarray stacks as well. Disarray is like a double-edged sword, so some of your attacks are going to do a whack ton of damage, and then other attacks are going to do no damage. So it kind of swings both ways. You're either doing a lot of damage or you're doing no damage. But there we go. So that's cycle 2. We're on 13 minutes. Let's see if we can get even more. Going for another form to haste over there as well to increase our movement speed even further. Come on, ladies and gentlemen. More like, come on, Myrmidon, you've got this. Okay, we're definitely doing a lot of damage even at the start. Bosses should start spawning as well. Got a decent amount of levels, so we'll just wait a little bit. If you're wondering how we have those levels, there's an option in the settings, or there's a setting in the options that allows you to disable auto level ups, and then you can kind of keep all your level ups at once. If you don't have this setting on, what it will do is every time you hit a new level, it will automatically go to this menu. So I don't like that. I feel like it kind of disturbs your flow in the game. So what I do is I wait till I want to use my level ups, and that way it doesn't disturb my flow as much. So it's just like a personal thing. You can play however you like, or use them whenever you like, or have it set to automatic, whatever the case may be. It's, you know, a game to have fun and to just enjoy, mess around, see how powerful you can be, and to go from there. We're not taking a lot of damage, but even if we do take damage, it's going to be a problem. The Popo are after me, ladies and gentlemen. They are in search because this build is illegal. I have no idea why there was a helicopter flying over, but I'm sure you didn't hear it anyway. Okay, Colometh, sorry, not Gameth. Let's go. Disarray stacked, armor, potency is good, disarray, even more critical strike chance. We can actually increase the fervor. Potencies, oh, I just love seeing potency upgrades and the empowering damage upgrades and things like that. It's just so good when you're playing with buffs, when you get those. Another buff you could use would be the Bloodlust, but it's not innate to this character, so it's quite difficult to get in. But because we wouldn't be starting with unconventional start, you could run it. You could maybe run it instead of Arcane Power and use that to kind of get your... Oops. Oopsie daisy, that was a lot of damage. I don't know what happened there. Luckily we full heal on the next round, so it doesn't really matter. As long as we didn't lose our life, then we're still good. So more, do we need more movement speed? Our movement speed is currently on 94. We'll go to 100, that's fine. No more movement speed. Damage for thrust, more multicast, and then potency and defenses. We do need more armor and block. We're only sitting at 43% block chance, so getting that to 50% at least will be a lot better for us. So let's try and do that. And we got about 4 to 10 minutes. We'll see how long this one takes and whether or not we continue after 20 minutes. So let's see. But this isn't a power build, it's just a build to see how far, you know, we can take a thematic build. Because if we're looking for a build that's going to take us really far, then we need to add in Shattered, we need to add in Dazed, we have to add in all those beautiful things, Bulwark, Finesse, all those buffs that help your damage and your character survivability and so on and so forth. So this one was just as like a fun build to see just how far we can take it and go from there. Okay, more disarray. We're going to go with the block chance, multicast, area we don't need, so we'll go the armor. Chance to critical strike the enemy with full life. I don't know how good this will be. It's quite late to grab it, but we'll just grab it for now. You probably shouldn't grab it, but it is what it is. And we're looking for some more cast frequency. 3.2 second cooldown on our skill now, which is actually really, really decent, considering it starts off with like a 9-second cooldown. So I'm quite happy with that. And you can actually see if we're able to drag the sharks into the enemy, they're going to be dealing a lot more damage to them. So the only thing I think this build has going on, or maybe it's the ascension more than the build, although it could be the draw storms as well, but the one part about this that is horrible is that you can't see the floor. But that's why it's a kill or be killed kind of thing. Bosses are down. Nice. We can go and what is our crit chance? 500. That's gone up a lot. Good, good, good. Cast frequencies, increase the damage of thrust skills, more life, more block. We don't need any of those. More life, more armor. When I have the bosses, so right now I'm using auto aim. But when we have the bosses alive, I use a manual aim, and I'm aim where my skill's shooting. It just makes it a lot easier to target the bosses and get rid of them a lot quicker. So it's just something I do. Again, not something you have to do, but it does make it a lot quicker to defeat the bosses. And here we go. Awesome. So one more set of bosses. So we got on, if we beat the stage before 20 minutes, then we'll move on to Overlord 5. If we don't beat it in the next minute, actually we're probably not going to beat it in the next minute, but we'll call it here. It didn't get as far. I mean, in 25 minutes you'll get to at least Overlord 5, the end of it. So it's pretty decent. But there really isn't any reason to push the limits with this. Again, it was just meant for fun, or as a fun little exercise, and to see what else we can think of in the future for things like this. So just the idea. And then as long as we can do this without losing another life, I'll be happy. I have no idea where the boss is. Somewhere there we go. And that is it. Fantastic. And actually, do you know what? I said if we beat it before 20 minutes, and we did. So let's go on to the next floor. I was about to say fantastic. We got it. We beat it 5 seconds before 20 minutes. So let's do the next round. I did say we would do it if we got there, and we did manage to get there. You know, fantastic. I never really thought that was going to happen. 480% damage, a 400% multicast, 395% a critical strike chance, and we've also got the critical mastery over there, and we've got critical damage on this with 44%. Very, very good stats for doing not much, just having a bunch of buffs. Grab our ascension so we get the critical damage, because that does help a lot. We do need to remember that the ascensions are multipliers. So we get a lot of movement speed, a lot of cast frequency, and other things like that. These bosses have a lot of AoEs going on over here, so it's quite difficult to get close to them. As you can see, there's a lot of poison on the floor and things like that, stopping us to get close to them. So we just leave that a little bit and wait. Damage increase, potency on the crit's going to be the best thing. Some more cast frequency, more block chance, multicast and damage, beautiful to see. And then some more damage as well as potency on the critical strike chance. So also, again, very good to see. Go and grab that potency now. Remember, the only reason we're focusing on critical strike chance is because the higher our crit, the more damage our Shiver of Sharks is going to be doing. So that's the whole point of that. They are sitting at a 14.1 times thing, and then also Mart is going to increase that as well. And then obviously it's dropping a little bit because we've got less stacks of form. Increase the amount of fervor, just increase our life a bit. See, if I was playing without the visuals, we would be able to see where the enemies were going to be attacking, and I wouldn't have to be running around so much. But because we don't have them off, and I'm playing this wild and free, I have to be a little bit more careful. Although I'm playing very risky right now. We're taking a lot of chip damage. Actually, do you know what? Let's just do that. Just for the last couple of seconds. Because we are inevitably going to lose our life over here. Unfortunately, we just don't have enough damage. Or block chance, actually. This is also where having healing skills becomes very important. Okay, we dodged a couple of skills there. Like I mentioned, as long as we have visuals off, I can see everything I need to see so that we can dodge. Grab our ascension. Still gonna take a little bit of chip damage, and there we go. Unfortunately, we ran into the floor over there and lost our life, busy being ragdolled by everything over there. But Shiv of Shark doing 269 billion damage. That was 195 million DPS going over there. Oceanic Strike dealing a decent amount afterwards. And yeah, RC Veins have a negative time. Not sure what that's about, but hope you guys enjoyed the build. Let me know what you thought about it down in the comment section. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more videos like this in the future. And always remember, keep safe, survivors. Until next time, cheers.